by Alex Pickard, which has a color sensor driven by an Arduino board.
I bet if we put our heads together, we could figure out how to build a version of Konstantin's Galton board that actually works.
Yeah, probably. But that's not what he did. He faked it with visual effects.
Right.
The question is how? What were the steps? And the answer is as follows. First, he shot an empty background plate, probably not with a phone. The rolling shutter is too extreme on those to do accurate motion tracking, which is what he did next.
Then, he made a 3D model of the Galton board and placed it in the scene. Now, because the marbles are spherical and featureless, he didn't even have to run a proper rigid body simulation to calculate how they fall. Their rotation doesn't matter, so he just linked each marble to a particle, an infinitely small point, on which he set the boundary of influence to the radius of the marbles. This type of simulation is much simpler. The primitive particles fall, and the marbles just come along for the ride.
Wait, how did you just show that? The empty background and the unrendered models?
Oh, I found them on Konstantin's Vimeo page.
We can get Adafruit optical RGB sensors for $8.99 a piece. And I think I have a concept for a sorting mechanism that uses vibrating pegs, although I will have to do some more research on resonance. There might be some issues there, but I can go get all the materials right now.
Wait a minute. I don't just look things up. I deduce. There's much more to it. I mean, even with everything I explained so far, you don't know exactly how he faked the actual color sorting, do you?
I guess not.
And you want to know, don't you?
Sure.
Well,
Small adjustments might affect a simulation every time it runs, making individual marbles fall differently. Not something you want if you plan to render the scene multiple times or have an exactly predictable end state for all the moving objects. But unlike in the real world, CG physics can be baked, converted from on-the-fly calculations to keyframed animation, fixed permanently on every frame. Once the path of each particle was fixed,